everyone. Hey, welcome to class. It's great to see you all here. Just remember while you're doing this, if you need any help, just stop, wave to me, call my name, I'm Cathy, and you can, of course, just work within any modifications that work for you. Pause if you need to. And a reminder, before you leave, just sign in with that little piece of equipment on the wall back there with the red light. You want to swipe in your one card there. And we are going to start today doing a release through the shoulders and the chest. So laying on your roller, double check that you're supported from your spine to the top of your head. So if your head is falling backwards and your chin is up, move your tail a bit more forward. And if you still need to lift the back of your head, you can go grab another yoga mat and fold it and place it under your skull so that you have an elevated top of the head. So if you go a little bit forward somewhere. And then also you can bring your face forward to lengthen the back of your neck, just so that your neck is comfortable here. It almost looks like you're too far forward. I think you can accent it. And just be sure that everything is supported down through your tailbone. I know it's more challenging when you're taller, but you should be this number. All right. So starting here with your knees bent, feet grounded about 4 to 5 inches apart. You can always use a ball here between your thighs to help you engage your inner thigh muscles. And think about feeling the whole foot grounded from the heel, the big toe ball of the foot, and the pinky toe ball of your foot, so you're fully supported through each foot and leg. Now, as you're laying back here, your waistline is floating off of the roller. So, of course, is the curve of the back of your neck. Bring the arms out to the side in a T position from your body, 90 degrees, the angle of your arms to your torso, and just rock a little bit side to side, coming down with the armpit and the hip on one side, and then on the other side of your roller, trying to have the back of your hands grounded here on the floor, so you feel a nice pull across your chest. We all typically need a little bit of chest opening, and of course, we desperately need a little massage into that upper back and neck area. The purpose of this exercise series to kind of get us to a feeling of release here in the chest. We're going to come back to center, stabilize the roller, and then as we inhale, we lift the arms up in a big embrace. You're hugging the air above you, like you're hugging a person you love, and then you pull the arms open slowly. You should pull exhale to bring the arms down to the ground. Release the hands into the floor, feel the weight of your arm, and stretch the fingers long. And then we cup the palm, curving the fingers in. On the inhale, the arms rise. Even as the arms lift, the shoulder blades are melting towards the ground. And then as you pull the arms apart, imagine pulling two magnets apart here. Feel that you're stretching the space above you as well as the chest. And then we lift again. Inhale on the lift of the arms. And then exhale on their slow descent. Notice as the arms are going down that your blades hug the roller underneath you. You feel them knitting together and embracing the roll. We lift the arms again. If you're using a ball, squeeze it just a little bit. You don't want to kill it. You're not trying to push all the air out of it, but you are trying to feel some work in your inner thighs, pelvic floor, and low abdominal wall. Arms rise on the inhale, and then exhale, sink down. Next time we lift, you're bringing the arms up and then pointing the fingers to the ceiling, to the sky. Arms a little wider than the sides of your ribs. As you exhale, the blades melt down. Now inhale, we lift the hands high to the ceiling, pulling the blades off of the roller. And exhale, let the blades sink down. Curve around the sides of the roller like a saddle fits on a horse's back. And then we lift up again. And exhale and release. Your feet should be steady. So really think of them sinking deep into soft sand here. Sand coming up to the calves, up to the knee. Just helping hold you in position. The arms rise. It's a little less stable when the shoulders lift and a little bit more stable when the shoulder blades. Embrace the roller beneath you. Focus here on the stretch you're getting in the neck as you're moving the blades here under your body. We're going to do one more. Inhale, the back will broaden and the chest narrows. And that's okay because as you pull the blades down, the chest widens and the back narrows here. Now, the inhale, turn the palms forward and exhale to glide the arms down your side, parallel to your body, parallel to the roller, fingers touch the floor. Inhale, arms lift to 90 degrees, point directly to the ceiling, and then exhale, the arms slide back by your ears as the blades slide toward your waist. Bring the arms forward on the inhale, easy movement through the air, and exhale all the way down. We'll do it again. As the arms lift, notice that they're in parallel, they're mirror images one to the other. When the arms go behind you, try to keep the arms at the same height from the ground. They may be a little bit different in flexibility. If you're really feeling a big difference there, you might just do the tighter arm several times on its own to help even out the flexibility in this joint, in the shoulder joint. But otherwise, just take your arms to the level of the tighter shoulder, the tighter arm. So we're going up on the inhale and exhale, and yawn the body open. Feel that stretch around your waist, front, back, and side, and then we bring the arms forward again, and exhale all the way down to the ground. Next, you'll bring your hands to your shoulders, elbows bent, and pull the elbows in by your waist. We pull the elbows up to the ceiling, exhale, spiral out wide, around, and down. You're drawing circles with your elbows here, one breath per circle. Inhale to lift, and exhale to circle around and down. Scoop the arm up with the inner arms, and then exhale, let it fall. The arms rotate in as they circle down, around, and then they rotate in and up as they lift through the midline. Exhale, breathe here. You might realize that a shorter inhale and a longer exhale is a little bit more calming for your nervous system. It's a nice way to relax after whatever you've been doing today, whatever you have scheduled for later on. Take this time for yourself. Shorter inhale, longer exhale will increase the relaxation response in your body. One more, and allow the shoulders to really shrug and move so that you're getting more mobility here in the back and neck muscles. We'll reverse at the end of that circle. So you're going down, wide, and back. Bring the elbows in and narrow and forward. That was confusing, just go in the other direction from where you started. And again, mobilize the shoulders, let them rise and fall. And at the same time, when you're breathing too, think about the belly lifting and widening as you inhale, and then the belly knitting together and drawing down towards the spine as you exhale. Just like the lungs, you inhale, you breathe in, and they widen, they lift, they sink, they get water in all dimensions. And as you exhale, they knit together so the ribcage narrows on your exhale. Doing this again, just flaring the arms open. Work in a range that feels comfortable to you, that feels like it's a lovely stretch, but not a strain. Your body knows the difference. If you pay attention, you'll know it too. We'll complete the circle here, and then bring the arms forward, lengthen them out at your side. Reach long through the fingers, palms down. Now inhale to lift the arms up and back, all the way back, two arms like rainbows behind you. Exhale, wide arms coming forward and around like you're drawing snow angels in the snow. Turn the palms down at the end. The arms lift up and press back. And exhale the circle, cut through the air with the sides of your arms. Turn the palms down at the end. We lift again. It's a big yawn, a big hallelujah moment, and you reach out wide. Even your palms, your fingers stretch wide open. Then you can turn the palms down. We lift one more time, going up and back in unison, in parallel with the arms, and circle them around and forward. So this opens up your chest, your pecs cover a big amount of that torso. Now we're going to reverse. So the palms are up and you circle out wide and behind you. Lift the arms as they go past the height of your shoulders. Exhale and dive them forward. The reason I said that is if you take the arms too low and go back, your shoulder joint feels a little stuck. It's not very comfortable. So you do want to follow the shape of the joint. You want to allow it to move with comfort. Take it back, reach back here, and then exhale. Push the air out of your lungs as you press the arms forward and down. And again, palms up to reach out wide and back. Exhale, dive the arms forward. Empty your lungs. Breathe out completely. We'll do one last one. Circling it around and back. And then exhale, pressing the arms forward. Here, lightly just rest your fingertips. Maybe tap the palms so that I think of my hands like little spiders here holding onto the mat at your side. If you have a ball between your legs, actually let that drop or take it away. And then notice where your feet are. Really feel the ground. We're going to pick up the right foot, keeping weight into your right hip. Lift the knee up slowly, use the full inhale and exhale. Take it down just as slowly. Try to keep the pelvis level here on top of the roller. And then lower the foot, let it spread into the floor. You go right back into your footprint. So now the left. You may feel like you're putting a little more weight into the left hand. You definitely want more weight into the left glute as you pick the left knee up. And then exhale to lower that down here. If you feel very unsteady and want a little bit more support, palms to the ground, elbows to the ground. Otherwise, we stay here on the spider fingertips. So inhale to lift the right knee, we're alternating. And exhale, pay it out. Your shoulder blades are still melting underneath you. That gives you a little bit more connection to the roller to keep it relatively steady. And we lift the left down. Just remember, balance isn't about being rigid and never moving. It's about being able to float a little bit away from your center and still come back. So you're going to feel a little postural sway as we continue with the right leg, lifting it up. And the roller is going to amplify any instability that you have. Be sure you keep the feet that 4 to 5 inches apart where you started. It's not going to help you to bring the foot back to center. We want to have the feet apart and just transfer the weight, the extra weight we need into the hips. Now next we pick up the right knee and then lift the left hand. You float it first just off the ground. And then if you feel stable, you can bring it up to point the hand to the sky. We're going to lower the hand and the foot down simultaneously to the ground. The arm has to move a little faster than the foot. There's further to travel. And then we're doing the other side. So you can pick up the left knee and the right arm. Use your gaze to find a focal point. Hold it softly with your eyes. I think of my gaze being like a muscle that also helps like lasso me into a point in space. So we're going to pick up the right knee, the left arm here. On the inhale, shoulder blade drops. Hip is heavy on that right side. And then exhale, lower down with control. As you pay out that leg, take your time. That'll help strengthen your hip flexors and other muscles in your core. Now we lift up the left knee and the right arm. Reach for the ceiling with the knee and the fingertips and exhale all the way down. Good work. From here, just stay on your spider fingertips and pick up your heels. So it's like you're wearing 2 high-heel shoes. And as you inhale, pull the right knee up. As you exhale, that's lowering as the other one lifts. So the feet pass in mid-stride. You're just going to touch the toes of the balls of the feet down lightly. And then as soon as they touch, you switch directions. Legs passing in mid-air here. This movement is called reciprocal, as the 2 legs move in opposite directions at the same time, and they pass in midstream. This again would be easier with the elbows down, with more points of connection to the floor. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, just maybe go to your thumb and 1 finger. It's surprising how much difference that can make. And then we're going to bring both feet down and lower the heels. They'll do great. So let's slide on off. And then we'll take the roller across the back, right at the tip of your scapula. And then here we'll support our heads. Use your hands, the thumbs wrap around under the occipital bones here at the base of the skull. And then your fingers either intertwine or just overlap here on the skull itself. And as we inhale, we look up the wall to the ceiling and behind us, taking the body back in upper back extension. Just be sure that the head is supported enough that you're not overarching the neck. And then lifting the head, you can use your hands to assist, tipping the chin to your chest. Pull the elbows forward and down towards your navel. As you round your back in flexion, the tail rises and the waist sinks. And then we're going back again into extension. The tail will drop down as the chest arcs over the roller. The elbows can drop and fall wide to your side and to the ground. That'll give you more opening through your pecs, through your chest muscles. And then tipping the head forward, chin to chest, look down your nose, pull the elbows forward and in. As you curve the spine, the waist sinks, the tail rises. So we're also here moving the pelvic girdle on the femurs, the thigh bones, in order to start warming up the hips. So we do this work with the spine, including the cervical spine, which is your neck. So to make the head up, look down the midline of your body. We're working equally here on right and left side. Gaze being centered on your midline will help you with that. One more time to arch. And heavy into your hands. Exhale. Use the hands, use the arms to help control the weight of the head. Your neck isn't out there on its own. We're going to give it support and assistance. All right. Now, from here, we'll lift the hips up, and then you're still supporting your head, and we're going back and forth along the length of your rib cage. So you go to the very top of the shoulders, but not onto the neck, and then you can push up your feet and go to the base of the ribs and not below. And then as you bring your knees forward, boost the butt up, drop the head down. There'll be an extension here again, looking behind you. And as you come forward, we're coming up into flexion with the upper body. So with the head, neck, and chest. The upper up curl as you push away from your heels. And then you're gliding back and forth here. Really feel this massaging of the back, the upper back. As you go up and down with the head position, that will increase the amount of pressure you feel into the muscles on your back. This will really help release your shoulders. You might even feel when you go up and back and forth here that there's certain points that are really needing this. And you can always pause and kind of do a little bit micro rocking back and forth to massage out that particular area. We're going to come back sort of to where we started at the tip of the blades, and then rotate to the right, picking up your left shoulder blade, and go up and down the edge of the scapula. So from like the raw line up toward the armpit. That's the area that's only usually about 5 to 7 inches long. But if you really twist your body, you're going to feel the edge of the blade here. That's where your lats connect. It might be a little tender, in which case ease back slightly. And then we're coming back to center and twisting to the left. You might need to bring your feet in a little bit. We tend to have more push than we have pull. So if you find that your feet are too far away from your hips, just bring the heels in closer to your tail. And now a big twist to that left. Get enough rotation to feel the outer edge of the blade. Keeping your hips up if you can. If you need to, you can rest your butt down on the mat and then just rock from side to side. That would be another option for this. Find the spot you need to release. And then we're coming back to center to lower the hips down. Okay, rocking forward and up. Let's take the roller out from under your shoulders and take it across under your knees. And then from here, we'll let it down to take the roller underneath the widest part of your hips onto sacrum. So you bridge up, pushing down through your feet, lifting your hips, and the roller comes across the sacrum. And now from here, we're just sliding the right knee up into the air and then exhale for the left one to meet it. Holding onto the roller, pulling it back a little bit so it doesn't shift forward. Inhale, tip the knees over to the right and turning it to the left. Feel a diagonal stretch across your chest with that left shoulder down. Exhale and pull the right hip up. Work your obliques to come back to center and keep pulling that right hip across the body so you roll over the left glute. And then you look to the right as the right shoulder and the right shoulder blade stay grounded. Now we're doing it to the other side. So your gaze moves as the knees do. So you pull the left hip bone up, look up at the sky when your knees are vertical, and then you turn your head to the left as the knees float to the right. This way you're massaging like the lateral edges of the glute muscles, but also the medial edges right by your sacrum. Come back to center. And again, going over to the left with the knees, to the right with your gaze. Keeping the shoulders down will give you more chest opening. And also really going far with the legs will give you more work into your oblique abdominals as you come up and then over to the other side. Now that's a different sensation than just swinging the knees back and forth. So really try to find it from your hip bones using the oblique abdominals to move you. We're just going to pull it up one more time, going from right to left. The right hip bone keeps moving across the space. bring the knees to the left, and now press into the roller. Exhale and pick the left hip bone up and come back to center. Now the roller is stable. Extend the legs up to the ceiling for scissors. The right leg comes back towards your chest and the left leg reaches long and forward in front of you, over the back. We'll inhale to switch the legs, scissoring through the air, and exhale to switch again. Toes should remain soft, right? You can have a gentle point through the foot, but not a grip. You don't want your toes to be like little claws grabbing a branch, right? You want to think of having air slide between your toes as you move. And focus on the feeling of stretch across the hip as the leg lowers and into the back of the thigh as the leg moves back in space. One more time here. Just breathe as you go. And we'll lift both legs up to the ceiling. Externally rotate, heels together, toes apart, and then pull the legs apart sideways for a little side split. And exhale, pull the thighs together, the upper thighs to close the heels. We're going to use the upper outer thighs to pull the legs open, upper inner thighs to close. You can even think about this as you pull the legs apart as opening your pelvic floor, and then imagine the pelvic floor knitting together to pull the legs up for you. A lot of Pilates gives you pelvic floor training without you even really being aware of it. Let's do this once more. Open. Exhale and close. Now leave the left leg up, the right leg goes out to the side. Pull the left leg vertical. Press into the right arm onto the roller. Exhale and pull the right leg up. Take your time. You don't want to rush. And then we're giving the right leg vertical, the left leg goes out to the side. So you want to go down a little slower than gravity would drop you. And then you want to pull up a little slower than momentum would bring you to the top of the movement. Feel it? So that way you're aware of your body controlling the descent. You're hanging out, you're hanging out a cable, and then you're pulling it in slowly, feeling the weight of the leg as you lift it. Each leg about 1/6 of your body weight. Though it sure feels like more sometimes when you have to pick them up, right? Pull here and make it a steady lift, not a jerky movement. We want to have control and coordination as we move. Last set here. After you lift the right leg up, we're going to take the left leg out to the side. Take your time, find the breath, move with it, and exhale, pull the leg up to the sky. From here, bend your knees, lower your feet down. Let's lift the hips, rotate the roller under you so you're on a fresh spot, and then just slide the right leg forward to open up the hip. If it's too much for your back, there's different options. You can pull the left knee into your chest, that would ease some of the stretch. You could also just, with the foot down, you can bend the right knee a little bit. So those are two different ways. You also can check to be sure you're on the right spot across the low part of the sacrum. If it's on the wrong part under your body, it won't feel comfortable either. But now as you're here, take the right arm back and stretch it long. So you're stretching open the same side arm and leg. And feel like gives you a beautiful stretch to the right side of your body. The opposite of sitting at a desk or sitting crunched up in a seat with your laptop in front of you. And then we can bring that arm forward, slide the leg back in. And now for the left, extend the left leg out. Two sides can feel different. Here's a time to notice, not blame, and then take the left arm back, reach open. And again, make any modifications you need so that it's comfortable in your spine, the muscles around it, but you're still getting a feeling of openness, of stretch, of release. You breathe in nice and slow, nice and deep. And exhale the same way. Now, if this feels fine for you, we can take both arms back and both legs forward. And again, remember, you can bend the knees if you need to minimize the amount of stretch you feel. If it's too much arch in your body. Or it feels great, just like relax into it at wherever point you are in movement. We're doing this for one more breath. So enjoy the inhale, fill the lungs to the very bottom of each lung sac. And exhale, just let the air slide out of your lungs, through your throat, out through your lips. Let the arms come forward, you can bend the knees in. Stand on your feet, lift the hips up, and we push the roller out from underneath you. Push down, and then extend the legs forward. Feel that stretch here with the whole body. And as you extend the legs, you'll probably want to rotate externally, letting the knees and toes point out. Go for it. That's just showing that they're more relaxed in your hip flexors. Okay, from here, we're pulling the right knee into your chest. Hold on to the back of the thigh. Lift your head, look down your midline. Lift the left leg up in the air and we rock forward to roll up to sitting near the front of your mat. Right, everyone feeling better already? Yes. Yes, right? Me too. So we're now going to work into our hundreds. So we'll start, I'm just bringing the theraband back by the other end, but I'll need it later. So you can have your knees bent, take your hands to the back of your thighs and sit upright on your sits bones. So we want to feel that the low back curves. As you pull the tail forward and up, you're sitting behind your sits bones onto the softer part of your glutes. Go down onto your sacrum. The heels can dig in, the toes might lift. You're rolling over the sacrum, over the hips to the waist, to the base of the ribs, to the tip of your blades. Stay there. Look down, pull one knee in. Use your arm to pull your chest forward and hold it in that position where you are. Good. If this is problematic for your neck, take the ball behind your head. And then we extend the legs up, stretch them high, and then reach the arms forward to pump the arms through your side. Inhaling for 5 beats. Exhale for 5 more. You press the legs into each other to firm up the inner line of your legs. You keep lifting the head up to the ceiling and looking down your nose at the abs. Don't look at your knees, don't look at your toes. Keep your gaze down to keep the curve in your neck pulled forward. Imagine here that your sternum, your breastbone, is like an arrow and it's diving forward and down into the belly. As you're here, you can inhale and watch the belly expand and lift. And as you exhale, pull it tight and drop it down. Press your waistline into the mat. The collarbones are wide, so you're resting on just the tip of the blades. And the arms pump evenly here, up and down at your side. I'm just going to go for one more breath. Exhale completely. And then fold your knees into your chest, lay your head down. Lower your feet, arms out in a T. And then just turn your head easy from side to side. The more you figure out how to get this work of holding the upper body up from the low abdominals, the less the neck will feel like it's doing all the work in your body. And then we're coming up to sitting again. So we'll take one leg in, the left leg this time, lift the right leg up, upward curl, chin to chest, round forward and up. And now here we're going to do roll up using the TheraBand to start, unless you know you're doing this for a while, you don't need to do this. I'm going to demo that and then probably go without the band after a couple. So taking the band wide around the ball of the foot and the top of the arch, choke up on the band a bit. And you want to sit tall. That means you bend your knees a little bit, that's fine. Just be sure you're perched on your sits bone, there's a little natural arch in your lower back. And then we're looking at the horizon, shoulders relax. Look down, roll the tail up, pull the waist back, and again, you imprint your spine down, one vertebra after the next. So it's like if you're wearing a striped shirt, a horizontal striped shirt, you're going to lay one inch stripe down at a time. Really take your time, keep lifting the tail up through your legs until you get down to the base of the ribs and the bra line, and then you can release shoulders, neck, and head to look up at the ceiling. Coming up, tip your head, looking forward and down at your navel, pull yourself up. The heels reach forward, curve your body off the ground one vertebra at a time. Now, if you find that your feet are lifting, there are ankle weights in the closet over there. You could just put an ankle weight, just rest it on top of each ankle, and that will help a lot. This is a new experience for you. We stack to lift up, and then we tuck and go down again. So the feet lengthen forward out to the heels. As you round your back down, Be sure that you're curving every inch of the spine here. We keep lifting the tail in order to get that inverse curve at your waistline into the mat surface. And you go down slowly, slowly, slowly. If you feel like you're stuck, you could pause and just come up again. It looks like everyone did a good job. And then we lift to come up. Start with an inhale, exhale before you pick up the ribs. That's the hardest part of the movement. Doing this slowly is much more effective for our core and gives you more time for the stretch as well than doing it quickly. We'll lift the body up like we're zipping the back up the wall, bottom to top. And then let's do it again. So if you're going without the straps, the arms can be extended forward. If you're beginning to do that, hand weights would also give you a little bit of more resistance to the flow to the ground. Come down, be sure every inch of your body goes down, and that really depends on the movement of the pelvic girdle around the legs initially. And then we lift to come up. Big exhale, pull, try to bend your spine. So you're working your abs and not just your hip flexors. As you come forward, your body makes a shape of a horseshoe, almost as if you rounded your body over a large beach ball here. And then as you start to roll back, think of curling the tail up and pushing the ball up the front of your body. If the arms are extended forward, you can lift them for more work, but just be sure that you don't go to a place where you lose control of your body's descent. Right? You're always trying to work on the edge, what feels right for you, and what you can manage and still keep good form. And so lift one more time, rounding here, diving over. Good. Everyone, really lovely job. So from here, we're going to hold on to your legs, and you can slide the feet in. You also may want to roll to the front or walk forward a bit with your hips towards the front third of your mat. You're rolling like a ball. Now here we are going to go into a C-shaped curve, and if it bothers your back, get more padding or let me know. So we'll make some adjustments. So you could start, beginners start with their hands behind their thighs. If you've done it for a while, hands on your shins, elbows wide and lifted, looking to your abs. The tail curls up, you bend your chest forward and down. Breathe into your back as you inhale, and then you roll to your blades. Exhale, come right back up to where you started, feet stay off the ground. And you want to curl the tail up to shift your weight. That brings you back. Never let the neck or the head touch the ground. So it's a great idea when you go back, you start with that inhale. As soon as the tip of your blades touch, you exhale and let the exhale carry you forward and up. It's also helpful to pull the elbows wide and forward. That will pull the blades apart from your back. So the rib cage sinks back, making your spine more curved. You definitely want your spine to be more like a ball or a tire and less like a plank. Yep. And that's one of the reasons we keep our gaze fixed on the navel. Because as soon as you lift your head to look up at whatever, ceiling, terrible idea. We'll do one more, because then as soon as you lift the head, the whole spine loses some of its curvature. Coming up to balance. Excellent. Now here we're moving into the first of the ab series. So right hand to the right ankle, left hand right below the right knee, both hands on the shin. We'll pick that leg up and push up with the shin and down with the hands. Lift the other leg, push it forward as you curve your tail and roll back with control. You come down to the tip of the legs again, pull that knee in tight. Inhale, we switch the legs. Again, you're looking down your midline, put the space out between your feet. You pull the leg in as tight as you can. If it bothers your knee, just hold on to the thigh instead and give that knee some space. It doesn't have to hold it tightly. One leg stretches forward with the other pulls in. And again. We'll end with the left leg in, pull the right knee in, and rock forward and up. Double leg stretch next. So with this one, more load away from center, be careful of your ankles, where you're positioning your legs. We're going to look at the belly, curl the tail up, roll back again, and you can bring the knees in with you. Maybe hold here, and then you can push them away for control as you roll your spine down. You pull the knees in, one hand to the chin, push up with the shins, down with the hands. Now inhale, legs glued together, the arms are apart as they lift, everything to the sky, circle the arms wide and embrace the legs in. So you reach up, you lengthen, you stretch away from center, and then you pull everything into center. I think I'm like here with the hammer. and like pull everything in like down the ball. As you advance, the arms go further back, the legs go further out, opening the angle between hands and feet. But just be sure that when you do that, you haven't changed your spinal position. If you're flattening your shoulders and your head back to the ground, you've made the movement too big with your legs. We're rolling forward again. Coming up, just open the knees and hand your head down low. It's the beginning of the semester, so we're giving lots of breaks between the exercises. Going up, eventually that disappears. Just so you know. So when you start Pilates, you maybe do 13 exercises in the course of the hour, right? So you can focus on like really good form, understanding what you're supposed to be doing. And when you get to the advanced work, you're probably doing like 65 exercises in that hour. And they advance in difficulty as well, of course. So that's our plan, to keep advancing you with every session. So 65 in the hour is going to come a little bit later. You still come tomorrow safely. All right, so now we're rolling back again for scissors. So you can bring the arms forward, curl the tail up, work the spine down. We're doing a roll back here and putting the spine right into the upright curl. Swing the right leg up, reach the hand high on the ankle, or at least towards there. The left leg lifts and goes long. Pull yourself up with your arms down the midline. Inhale to switch the legs. Feel that stretch in the hamstring, and then shoot the legs straight out of the socket. We're moving it in a straight line to the ceiling, down an arc to the ground. But each leg stays in line with the hip socket, in line with the center of the chest on that side. Good. You can use your hand connecting to the leg to pull you a little deeper into the upright curl. Try to keep that connection as you free the arms. We're going to end the next time the left leg comes up. Bring it up, bring the right leg to meet it. Support your head, fold your knees in, and lay down. So there's still 2 more in the ab series. We're going to leave them for today. Extend the legs forward, bring the arms back behind you for a roll up. And we lift the arms, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, come up. If you want to bring your hands to your thighs, to your body, you can, even to the floor, round over. Good. Suck the waist back to make a rounded C shape here on the ground. And now, coming upright, we'll open the legs for spine stretch. Now, if you're tight in your hamstrings and low back, you'll need to elevate your hips on a yoga block. The way you would tell would be if you're sitting behind your sit bone and your back is kind of flat here, you should elevate to get more benefit out of the exercise. Otherwise, you lift up right under your sit bones. There should be a little indentation here behind your waist. The arms extend forward, parallel to the ground. Push them lightly down as you float the chest high, lift the heart, lift up through your halo, but still look at the horizon. We're now going to look down your nose to bring your chin to your chest. The back of the skull pulls out, over, and down in an arc, out between your knees, and then the body flows forward, C-curve spine. Down you go to feel that stretch in the back around the sacrum in particular, and also behind your thighs. Press down with your heels, sink your tail to the center of the earth. You're going to come up and perch on your sit bones as you stack your spine inch by inch up that imaginary wall, and then look down again. Exhale all the way out over the hips forward, and curve the spine around it. Embrace the air in front of you. Feel the support of the air like it is a large balloon or a ball. And then press down into your legs, sink the tail, and zip your back up that imaginary wall behind you here. The blades fall as the heart rises. You look at the horizon again. Exhale all the way over. But it feels like you are moving like a wave out of the ocean, up, over, and down, and a curve. It's like onto the beach. Your fingers reach out onto the sand. And then pull your waist back. The undertoe picks you up and lifts you as the shoulders melt behind your back. One more, looking down and rounding forward here. Exhale completely as you come into the end range of the movement. And then lower your hands to your legs wherever you can, over your feet. If you want more stretch, you flex the feet and you pull the toes back. They can be with or without the help of your hands. And then we're frogging in, so bring the heels in. Bring your tail forward towards the heels. Open leg balance. Arms go between your legs and onto the top of your shins here. If you are new to this, or if you have knee issues, you might hold here under your thighs. So we first curl the tail up around the back, And then pick up the feet, find your balance point on your sacrum. Yes, good. Knees eventually narrow the width of your shoulders. Now we extend the right leg up in the air, straighten it, hold your position here, balance on the sacrum, and then exhale to pull it back down. Connect your edges of your feet together. And now the left leg extends. You can circle your hand around the outside of the leg a little bit, and then hold on, like more on the calf, gives you a little better support there. And then we extend the right leg up. And if you're really tight in the back line, the knees may not straighten, that's okay, as long as you feel the stretch, you go where you go, right? And then pull it back, control it down, both legs. They both go up. Hold that support, slide the hands around the top of the shins as you pull the legs back down, and we lift again, both legs up. Hold that balance point, and then bring it back down. Be sure that the back is rounded so that you're not arching your spine when you lift the legs. Go up one more time. And now we're going to hold the legs up, look down at your belly, curl the tail up more. Guess what? We're rocking again. Keep your gaze down, chin to chest, and we lift the tail away to your shoulder blades. Exhale, come forward and up. Find that balance point. It's a little tricky that first time, right? But like the next 1,500 times. But you want to really try to get your back as curved as possible. Come forward and up. And this is harder than the first one. With the legs out here, it also changes your center of balance. So just when you got good at rolling like a ball, now we throw this at you. So here we go. Lift the tail, go all into the shoulder blades, keep them off the ground, just smashing your head into the floor. Pull the legs together, bend your knees, lower your feet down. I promise it gets better with practice. And now from here, we're going to roll it down and grab hold of the bend or our corkscrew. So use the hands forward, articulate the spine down. Use every chance you can to work into your core, coming down slowly to the ground. Once you're down, you can fold the knees in, and we'll lift the feet up to the ceiling, wrapping the band around the soles of the feet, while we put the arch again. You bring the feet up high, pull the elbows down and long, and soft point through your feet. High heel shoe foot. And now keeping the pelvis grounded, which brings the legs over to the right, not far, and then down around, out to the left, and then up to the ceiling. And then we reverse. The legs circle to the left, forward and around. So you're going to press into the arms to help stabilize the torso. Also feel that work. There's a little bit of a weight shift around your SI joints, around your sacrum here, the edges of it. That's fine, but you don't want to be tipping the pelvis. You're going to be trying to hold it still so you feel like the subtle work into your abdominals as the obliques hold the body down on one side with the legs go to the other. Feel how you can control it. And also if you do this slowly enough, you really will feel that work, right? Sometimes we can ignore the body because we're just speeding through life. We'll come to the top, and to whatever point you can get a nice stretch in the back of the legs. The legs at the top of the movement should really be vertical. If that means that you bend the knees because your hamstrings are tight, that's what it is right now. Won't be like that forever, but you might need to do that to keep your back safe. We finish at the top, and we pull the knees and the band off to the side. And then we roll forward and up, hands to the back of your thighs. Lift your head, neck, and chest. Exhale, back forward, and open the legs a little wider than your mat. If you need to elevate your hips on that yoga block or book, please do that. And then we flex arms out to the side of the saw. Hands a little bit in front of the collarbones, because for most of us, if we pull the arms parallel here to the chest, we end up arching the back, and we're moving into flexion. So we'll rotate to the right and dive over, back left hand along the outside of your right leg, and you twist and look behind you. So you're looking for your fingertips, reaching up to the ceiling and across the wall. So that you're anchored down for your left glute, the legs stretch diagonally in your back, and then we lift to come up, center, and then spin to the left. Back of the hand comes forward on the foot. The back arm, the thumb goes down and the palm goes up, and you pull the arm as far back on a diagonal as you can to the opposite corner of the room. Lift to come up, hold the rotation as you rise and unwind, and then we spiral again. twist, dive, and reach. It's like you're bringing your ear down to the knee, opposite knee, and you're looking back with wrists as straight as possible. You reach along through your fingertips on both hands. Coming upright and unwind, and then twist the air out of your body. Dive forward, reach long, pull back through your hips, or weight in the opposite glute. Come upright to center, and one last time. Spiral, twist and dive, reach long. You're still sucking the waist back. It's not just a collapse and a fold and flexors. Run around the spine with that twist. Up again, and one more time, going over. So when I bring the back arm down, I bring it low, turn the thumb to the floor, and then lift it back and up behind me. That gives me a chance to pull that left shoulder around to the opposite side of my body. Come up and center, and then lower the arms down. Just practice that for a second. So extend your left arm out. So that was going behind you. The thumb goes down, lower the hand. You sweep it back behind you. You're diving over, and then you can lift it up on the diagonal behind you. Feel that? Because sometimes it's confusing when you take the arm behind you as to which way you rotate it. And definitely having it go low before it lifts kind of puts it into the right place at the socket. Yeah. Just do that on the other side. So extend the right arm out. Thumb goes down. As you're diving over, you're lowering the thumb. Your palm is coming up to the ceiling. You twist and you pull that arm diagonally across the room, away from the shoulder. And then we can unwind and come up. Yeah. All right. So from here, onto our stomachs for swan. Just stretch on out onto your belly. Your hands coming back sort of to the armpit. Pull back to the heel of your hands as if you're pushing the mat down and towards your feet. The face is off of the ground, but you're looking down to begin. So you pull the elbows in close to your waist, pull the shoulder blades down your back, lift the heart, come up, and then you release it back down. And again, so you scoop your eyes across the floor, push the floor down, so lift up, with a stretch in the abdominal wall, and release it down like you're zipping the front of your body into the mat. Lift your head off of the ground, and one more time. Squeeze the arms around the back of your ribcage, so the ribs in the back narrow, the ribs in the front open and expand as they lift, and then come on down again. And then here, back in your child's pose, round your back further. Hang your head low. This will also stretch out the tops of your feet and your ankles. And then we're moving forward onto your forearms for single leg kick. Press the elbows into the ground. Sometimes we call this the Sphinx position. You're pulling forward away from the pubic bone, from the stretch in the abs as the elbows dig into the ground and pull back and in. Just as high, eyes are lifted. Kick the right heel in twice, pulse 1 and 2, lower it down, and on the left, pulse 1 and 2, and bring it down. You can feel every time you kick, you're getting a little stretch in your quads, and I want you to still feel that stretch in the abdominal wall. Double beat here, and down gently, but firmly, right? So you don't want to smash it into the ground, but you lower it like you mean it, and then it's firmly into the ground. Keep alternating here, one more set. Double beat and down. Next one, double pulse and down again. All right, and again, child's pose. Push the ground away. Round your spine, sink your head low, and then stack your spine from the bottom to the top. Okay, from here, we're moving into a shoulder bridge. This is a good place to use the ball between your thighs, if only to encourage the inner thighs to engage. It will keep you out of overworking into your hamstrings, and if you have a knee issue in your past or in your present, it's a good idea to use the ball. So here we go. We can lay down onto our backs. You have to lengthen here at your side, and we're just getting the heels comfortable distance, maybe 6 to 8 inches from your sits bones. You decide, and you can always change it, but we're starting with that pelvic top. So as you curl the tail forward and up the wall in front of you, the waistline presses down. You feel you have a tilt on the pelvis, you haven't lifted much off the ground yet. Press down through your arms, and you continue to pull the tail forward and up, as if you're driving your tailbone through your knees, lift the spine inch by inch, coming up until your body is a plank from your shoulders to your hips to your knees. And then we'll roll to the inner arm, widen the scapula on your back, your shoulder blades, and articulate the spine down, moving the spine down between the blades, down to the ribs, down to the waist, down to the hips, down to the sacrum, down to the tail, and at that point the pelvis rocks and the waistline is floating off the ground again. Feet are solidly into the floor, feel the inside and outside edges of your feet to help engage the inside and outside muscles in your legs. So you can push down with your feet, curl the tail up, now pull the heels back without moving them, and you're pushing the mat underneath your hips. You rise here a little bit at a time, coming up, up, up. And after the plank, if you want to go a little higher, you can push the top of the shoulders into the ground and slightly rotate the arms externally. And then you'll lift the chest up higher, then you can lift the butt up higher, opening your hips, but still feeling that connection to the inner edges of your feet. You don't want to roll your ankles. Now we're going to roll to the inner arm, the shoulders curve up slightly. And then feel how you can get the upper back down. If you don't move the shoulder girdle, the shoulder blades, and the shoulders and the arms, you're probably going to end up skipping a lot of that articulation to the upper part of the back. And we're really trying to feel every inch of the spine, move every single one of those vertebrae on your way to the ground and then up again. One more. It's almost a rocking motion here. So you pull back with the heels, forward with the tail and up, push down into the feet. You're going to lift the tail forward and up, up, up. By the plank, decide if you want to go higher. Roll to the outer arm, push the top of the shoulders into the ground, lift the chest and find an extra lift through the glutes. So keep the inner thigh alignment. If you have a ball between your thighs, squeeze it here. And then we're rolling the top of the shoulders up, moving the blades apart to curve that upper back down, right? We're going down 1 inch at a time, very snaky through our vertebra. Come all the way down and release the low back as the tail sinks into the ground. Now we're coming up next for a spine twist. You can pull one knee into your chest, other leg lifts to the ceiling, rock forward and up. Come up to sit. I'm going to face this way so I can see you. You know, here's another place where you elevate your hips if you're tight through the back line. So extend the arms out to the side and slightly forward, feet flexed here. And then we rotate to the right around your own axis and we twist and pulse 1, 2, 3. Lift to center. And then as you twist the left, your body melts down a little bit. Not emotionally, just like physically. And then here we go to the right. Lift to come up to center and spiral. And again to the right. Stay around your axis. Try to feel this work in your abs. Your obliques are working to pull you around. You could also picture that the ribs on one side of the body are coming in to slide into the sternum, and the ribs on the other side of the body are going around your back to pull in to your spine. So you can think of it on that kind of bony level as well. Yeah. And then come back to center and release the arms down. Okay, so we're almost at the end of class, and I do appreciate if you need to go, no hard feelings. I know how the schedules are. So here, I think we're going to go into just a little bit of the clam. So we're going to lay down on our side, holding the knees, hips are stacked, and you can prop yourself up, head on your arm. If that's not good for your neck, just extend the arm down and lay your head on the upper arm. Now, you can see me. You can also just feel this in your own body. If you go take your top hand along the crease between the leg and the pelvic girdle, you take your index finger and point it in about 2.5, 3 inches from the center of the pubic bone, the pubic symphysis. Now, from that point, we rotate the leg externally to lift it up, and then exhale and pull it down. That way, if you do that, you can keep your hips stacked, and you're not rolling back to lift the knee by taking the pelvis back and rotating the spine. Feel the difference? So you want to really keep yourself right on your side seam as you lower lift that knee. And the way you can do it is by actually understanding where the hip joint is. Also can help your stability if you bring your top hand and press it into the mat in front of your chest. For advanced, you would have your hands supporting your head and pull the neck long. Now we're just going to do one more variation. So you pick the knee up, extend the leg, stretch it, bend the knee, replace the edge of the foot down, and then pull the knees together. Rotate the leg up, the knee lifts, then you extend the leg, stretch it, bend the knee, replace the edges of your feet, and exhale, bring it down. One more like this, rotate, extend, fold, and close. All right, onto our stomachs now. Rotate the legs externally, knees and toes point out, overlap your hands under your forehead. We're just going to keep the front of the pelvis pressed into the ground. Pick up your right leg while keeping the pelvic girdle down, and then lower that leg down. Now the left. Bring it up. Hip is heavy on the left side, so there's a rocking of the body side to side, and then lower. We lift again. This is building strength into the glute, but only if you keep the pelvis rounded, right? Think of your whole pelvic girdle filled with sand or concrete, something heavy, and you lift, alternating the legs here, keeping the knee straight, right? We're not bending the knee and picking up the foot. We're lifting the foot because we're lifting the whole leg from the hip socket. This will open up your hips as well as strengthen your glutes. After you've done the left leg, you can sit back in a child's pose again. Head hands down. Stack your spine bottom to top, and then we're coming up to do the other side. Everyone still hanging in? Good. Okay, you're on your side seam again. Stack your knees, stack your feet, and find the crease of your hip. To index finger points in, and then we rotate the leg there, and then bring it back down. Inhale to lift, spiral the leg up. Nice. No one's falling through an invisible wall right behind you. Of course, you're going to get some movement here in the glutes. That's all good. But what we're not doing is rotating the spine. And again, the two sides are often different. Sometimes you just know, like your tighter side, you might have to do more reps on that side. And then we're going into the next part, part 2. Pick up the knee, extend the leg. Bend the knee, replace the foot down on the other foot, and then spiral the knee down, the knees closed. So inhale to lift it, exhale to extend it, bend the knee here, and exhale, lower it down. Lift, reach out long, the knee bends here, and exhale and down. Lift again, exhale, lengthen, reach, bend the knee, close the knees. Once more, pull it up, extend, reach out, soft foot, bring it back, and close. Last child's pose now. Breathing into your back. And then you can push to the floor, stack your spine to come up. Great. And then we are done for today.